we just had a core of committed people and the favor of the Lord. It felt like that as we started launching. I actually heard a pastor say one time, you should be planting your next church before your legs are under you in the church you just planted. And so as I was thinking through that process, I'm like, okay, well, we're in no position to plant a church, but God, what do you want to do? So we hit this stride of where two different churches in our city approached us about actually coming in and being a part of our church. And so we actually folded two different churches into our fresh church plant through literally, man, a Holy Spirit given dream to one of the elders of this struggling church in our city. Literally said, you guys need to get a hold of City Life and talk to them about what it looks to do ministry together in a dream one night. Goes to the elder meeting and says, so this is going to sound crazy, but here's what the Lord told me. Who's City Life? Like they didn't even know who we were. And the next day I walk into a restaurant for a meeting and the pastor of that church is sitting there. I've never met him. And I walk up to one of the other pastors at the table and say, oh, hey, what's up? And he goes, hey, by the way, this is Mike Wiggin, the pastor of City Life. And the look on his face, I still remember it to this day, it was hilarious because it looked like he'd just seen a ghost. And so we met actually that day and he tells me the story. And so we actually adopted them into our church. Well, in that process, we sold that church building, which gave us the funding to then start planting churches. The first church we planted was one of the elders from the first church plant that we pulled in. We sent him and about 60 people out of our building and fully funded them with all of the technology they needed and all of the starter help to get into the building that they were going into. We sold the building and the property for about $270,000. There's been 5 total churches planted out of that, as well as we poured about $30,000 into our city and $20,000 into international missions with that as well. So, wow. So it was just meant to be as a service to the city and in planting and then, funding other projects in our city.